Reason Black people ask who all gonna be there is we have a different mask for different situations.
That had 472 retweets and 4,217 likes.
The tweet is a reference to Paul Laurence Dunbar's We Wear the Mask.
Right.
Classic poem, We Wear the Mask, We Wear the Mask. It's one of those poems that if you were a little Black girl who could talk good, as we say, when I was growing up, you were in lots of speech competitions and poetry competitions. And this was one you recited a lot at church or something like that.
Right.
And so it's one of those that I know very well. And it's just, and then I grew up to be a Black sociologist, which comes with reading and studying Du Bois, of course. And Du Bois has this concept, double consciousness, and they're the same thing. We're just talking about the presentation of self that minoritized people have to do to protect our core identity and our core self. You know it isn't safe to be your full self everywhere you are. And we become extremely skilled. One of the reasons why I think we are the world's most natural sociologists is that Black Americans are extremely skilled at ascertaining the social conditions of every environment. We have to, because we're immediately scanning to see who do we need to be in this space to be safe.
It's constant, right? I mean, I try to tell my mom, the older folks in my family, like, I don't claim to know, but just from what I've been able to ascertain, it's like feeling of a target on you or a vulnerability at any minute. Yeah.
And it's just a low level buzz. It's not like, I do think sometimes white people think we go around and we do like a checklist. I'm like, it is actually more insidious than that, in that it is subconscious and you don't have to surface it.
I always think of that Toni Morrison quote about like the purpose of racism is to distract you from your work.
That is correct.
And I always just like, that rocked me, and I think about it all the time.
Me too.
It's like the thing you just described about like the having to wonder what mask you might put on in a situation that's distracting you from your work, right?
All the time. Yeah. And like, I mean work largely, like my work in life.
Yes.
It's not just that, we're not talking job.
Right.
I mean, my life's work. Like, what are you here on earth to do?
Right.
Freeing up the mental space to get on with that.
Yep.
As opposed to figuring out what role you need to play all of the time is just an absolute game changer.
This is a huge honor to have you on my podcast. And so thank you so much, Tressie. I'm really grateful.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you for being such a thoughtful reader. This was a lot of fun.